What's going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages? How are y'all doing? I just got home from church and I wanted to do a video. I've been meaning to want to do a video on my APTA for a while now. APTA is air-powered tree access. APTA. So, they've been around for several years now. I don't know exactly how long. But how I built mine is, and that's what I'm going to cover in this video. So when I was doing right away, I worked for another company, Asplin, and we cleared right away. Trim trees for power lines or cut trees for power lines. Well, Aspen had a contract for ticket crews, and that's all we did was we went out and ran tickets. It was just me, one other groundman, or me, one groundman, a bucket truck, and a chipper. That was it. No skid steer, no kind of specialized equipment at all, for this contract. Mainly we were cutting dead pines or just dead or dangerous trees. But did a bunch of trimming as well, but mainly customer would call in, say, hey, I want this tree taken down. They'd come out and look at it, say, okay, they'd write up a ticket on it, send it to us, and we would go cut it. Or when they were doing their inspection, they would find a dead pine or a bunch of dead pines or whatever, dead tree or a tree leaning, and they would write up a ticket on it. The utility would write up a ticket on it and say, we want y'all to go cut this tree. Sometimes these trees would be 3, 4, 5, 6 spans off in a right of way that you couldn't get a bucket truck to. So we would have to walk all of our gear out there, get a rope in it, and cut it. If we just couldn't cut it without a rope. But most of the time you couldn't cut them without a rope. So our wedges or, whatever. We had to tote everything out there. No side-by-side, no four-wheelers, no nothing. Just, a bucket truck, a chipper, me and a groundman. That was it. So I got a ticket to go cut this dead pine. Drove down there. It's in a spot where I can't get the bucket truck. The first limb on this tree was like 60 feet up. And it was right up close to the power line. So I didn't want to throw the throw line over the power line into the tree. So I had to stand. So I was trying to pretend like this wall is the power line. So I had to stand pretty much with my back just right up against the power. It was a single phase power line. Right up against it. And then I was having to essentially throw straight up. There are guys out there that are fantastic with a throw ball. I mean, absolutely fantastic with a throw ball. I'm not one of them. Accurately, I can only hand throw a throw ball probably about 35 to 45 feet. That's my max. So I tried and I tried and I tried. My groundman tried for like an hour. It felt like an hour to get this throw ball in this tree so that we could, take the rope off in the woods and put it on a come along or hand pull it or whatever and, pull the tree over. Well, he said to me then, he said, John, he said, man, with everything you know about cutting trees and all this other stuff, you don't have a tool or something or any ideas on how to get this rope in this tree? And I told, and that sparked something with me. And I told him, I said, Brandon, I don't right now, but I promise you I will. Sorry about the beeping. I got to change the batteries in my smoke alarm. I said, I don't right now, but I promise you I will. That afternoon when I got off work, I drove back to Pontotoc and I looked up a couple of YouTube videos. Mainly, I was really needing to know like what size pipe I needed. But I got some ideas from those, and I drove straight to Moore's. That's a feed store and hardware store here in town, and thankfully they stay open until 6, so I was able to make it in time. And I walked around, and I had an idea of what I wanted, but I didn't have the finished product. So I walked around and I started putting pieces together. You know, I just walked over to the plumbing section and started putting pieces together. And essentially just kind of came up with what I have now. So, I'm gonna get this outside where you can see it. Okay, so this right here is my APTA. Essentially, it's an air-powered potato gun. Valve stem right here. Valve right there. And a pressure gauge right there. Oh, before I move forward, I just want to say that this is something I built at my house. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm not telling you this is the safest thing to do. They have these online that you can buy for a couple $100. I don't know how much they are now. This one's made out of PVC. You can make it out of metal. I made mine out of PVC because it was easier and it's lighter. Generally, when I use this, I'm having to carry it somewhere where I can't get my bucket truck to get a rope in a tree. Or when I first made it, that's what I was making it for. And I didn't want to carry, I was already carrying so much stuff, I didn't want to carry something else that was really heavy. So I was trying to save weight. So, just for lawsuit reasons, do not take what I'm saying and then go get yourself hurt and then try to sue me. Okay. All I'm saying is just it works for me. I use it personally. I don't let anybody else use it. I built it, so if I get hurt, it's on me. With that being said, it works for me. All right. So, I have a standard throw bag from Notch with, that's a 14 ounce throw bag, and it also has a 12 ounce throw bag. I've actually built two of these because this is my original one. Notice this one is broken. Okay? So, this went here like this and the valve went in the middle. The reason why it broke. We had a snowstorm. I went to go do a tree job. I pumped it up to pressure, about 70 pounds, here at my house. Drove right down the road to do the tree job, and the customer said, hey, look, you know, I really just don't want y'all to cut the tree today. Don't want anybody to get hurt, yada, yada, yada. I said, you know, I assured him I was going to do the best of my ability to make sure nobody got hurt. But he said, look, I would just feel more comfortable if y'all came back another day. I said, okay, fine. Well, we came back to the house. I forgot to take the pressure off of the pipe. It got really cold that night, and I guess the variance in temperature made this explode. It was laying there in the floor. When I came out the next morning, I never heard it or anything like that. This is the hole that I drilled for the pressure gauge, and then I just screwed it in. I did not thread this. I just screwed the pressure gauge in with some thread tape and some Loctite, and it cut its own threads into the PVC. Hold on. The valve stem is this guy right here. Okay. These caps down here, I'll go ahead and tell you, I just drilled a hole in the cap and I pulled the valve stem through. I put some lubricant on it, pulled it through. You can get these caps where they're rounded, or you can get them where they're flat. It's a lot easier to pull them through if you get it where they're flat. For the throw bags that I have, I used Schedule 40 2.5-inch pipe. Like I said, you can also get this out of metal. The ones that you buy online will probably be metal. But anyway, 2.5-inch Schedule 40 PVC. It's kind of faded off right there, but anyway. Water pressure, it is rated at 330 psi. I don't know what it's rated at in air pressure, so I've tested this to about 120 pounds. I don't like to take it that high, but I did test it from a safe distance at 120 pounds. Whenever I shoot it, I generally pump it up to about 70. If I'm trying to go higher than 100 feet, then I'll pump it up to about 85 or 90. Oh, the valve stem, it seals itself as long as you don't get your hole too big. It's got that little lip on it right there. So this is a high quality valve stem. It's metal. It may look rubber, but it won't bend. It's metal on the inside. So I got one of the higher rating ones. See that metal in there? Okay. And then to pump it up, I bought a standard Walmart Deluxe bicycle pump. Just, you know. So whenever I'd go out in the right of way and cut a tree, if I couldn't get the throw ball in it by hand, you know, just tossing it by hand, then I'd go back to the truck, get the bicycle pump and the APTA, come back and shoot it up there. So most all the ones that I saw online were just a barrel, okay, straight tube, and just somewhere, you know, and then just a straight tube. The reason for this right here is because I wanted to shoulder fire it. So I can hold it like that. I can aim down the barrel. Okay. It's not loaded, don't worry. Not loaded. And there's no air pressure. Okay. So don't worry. But I can aim straight down the barrel. And then I can hold my hand here and whoop, release the pressure and fire. Notice that this goes right over the gauge. I had to bend this up a little bit, but that's why I designed this one that way, so I could aim and fire off the shoulder. The colors that I made for my company, I didn't make the colors, but the colors that I chose for my company are blue and white. See? So, John Howell's Tree Service. I wanted another layer of protection. That's why the duct tape is blue and white. Blue. So there are 2 layers of blue. I started at this end. I taped the entire thing blue. All the legs, if you want to call them. And then I went back and I retaped it blue again. So there are 2 layers of blue. Then I went down and I made this, stripe out of white. I just got blue and white duct tape and did that. 2 purposes. One, it dresses it up, makes it look nicer. I like it better. It matches the colors of my company. There you go. 2, the main purpose. If this thing decides to rupture, I am hoping that the tape will stop the shrapnel and just the air will blow out. Okay, never tested that. I've never pumped it up to a pressure that would break it. But essentially, when I'm holding this by my head, I have an air bomb beside my head. So if it decides to rupture, it's going to send plastic all over the side of my face. No good. No bueno. So I taped every portion double and triple. Okay. I don't know what it weighs. Maybe 7 or 10 pounds, maybe. I don't know. Never weighed it. It takes maybe about a minute and a half to pump it up with a bicycle pump. Then you I take the throw ball. Oops. Load it in there. Then I don't bang it on the ground. I pick it up and just shake weight it down till I hear it seat down at the bottom. So then I've got my throw ball string in the throw bag. Line up my shot wherever I want it to go. It's up here. Woo. And there you go. Throw bag comes out, takes a string with it, hopefully goes where I want it to go. And there it is. It will shoot accurately. This one shoots, I don't know why, but it shoots about 3 feet to the left at 75 feet. So, to correct that, wherever I'm trying, whichever fork in the tree I'm trying to hit, or over the limb, or whatever, I aim about 3 feet to the right. I figured that out the first time I shot it. I was like, wait, that was way left of where I was trying to hit. So, pulled the rope back down, or pulled the throw line back down. Shot it the second time, corrected, aimed more to the right, and I hit the spot. I don't use this that often, but back when I was doing right away, I used it a lot. I could see where it would be a great benefit for a climber, but you know, I climb when I have to, but I don't climb every day. So all right, I'm gonna pump this thing up real quick, and then we'll shoot it, and I'll show you what it can do. Be right back. Okay, so got my rangefinder. Excuse me. From this point where we're standing right here, that tree right there is 50 yards or 51 yards away. The middle right in here is about 44. So 40-ish right here, 50 right there. That hill, whoop, refocus. That hill on the side of the driveway right there is 66 or 67, and across this driveway is 81. Okay, so 40 something yards down there in the middle, 50 right there at that tree, 60 something, 65, 66 right there on the side of that hill, and 81 across the driveway. Okay, so standard 12-ounce throw ball, throw bag. Put that in there, and then shake weight it down. I've got it pumped up to 90 psi. All right, here we go. Oh, I don't know how much line is in the bag, but we're gonna shoot it and find out. Alrighty. Fire in the hole. All right. Cool. Okay, so I was standing about right here, took the line, and I've got two little knots in my line. Not knots, but it kind of knotted up when it came out. That happens sometimes. But took the line. You can't really see it, but let me see if I can zoom in. The throw ball is hanging right there in that oak. Yeah. Let's see. Where's it at? There. Yeah. It's hanging right there. Yeah. You can see it. Let me find it again. Golly, the sucker's so hard to find something. Oh, wait, there it is. Hanging right. That's as much as I can zoom in. Hanging right there. So, oops, let me bring that down. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that's about 70 yards. Or, well, it was 66 to that hill. And it's hanging. Those limbs are right above that hill. So it's 65, 66, 70 yards, somewhere around in that neighborhood. Do the quick math. That's 210 feet. So yep. Alrighty. So there's that. Like I said, so it shot about 200 feet, and then it took the bag with it. Oh, yeah. The bag started about right there. Yep, I got a bunch of stains on my concrete, all right? The bag started about right there, and it took it over there. Anyway, so that's it. That's my APTA. It's how I built it, why I built it. I'm not selling it. I'm not advising you to go build one. All I'm saying is that it works. It works very well. I haven't had a problem with it so far when used properly. And it's very good at getting a throw ball in a tree. So, once again, do not take what I say, build and go build something and then get yourself hurt and come back and try to sue me. Whatever you build is on you. I'm the only one that uses that. I don't let any of my employees use it. I generally do not pump it up to 90 psi. Like I said, I have tested it at 120. I try to stick to about 65 or 70. But I know for a fact it will shoot a throw ball. You know, if you got a good clear shot, it will shoot it over 300 feet. So, because essentially it's an air-powered potato gun. That's what it is. All right, so that's going to end this one off. Thank y'all very much. Remember, Jesus loves you, and deuces, homies.